Salve Latin 1. Here's the study guide for stage 7. We're going to go over it right now. So, first part, these are words that come from outside of the stage 7 vocab list. So you're going to want to study your stage 7 vocab, but outside of that, here's some words from previous chapters that you're also going to encounter in the reading knowing these will help you read the first story on this test better. So, we're going to start with Wila, which we know to mean house. Winit, which means comes or arrives. We have erat, which is just the imperfect of est, so it means was, specifically he, she, or it was. Laitus means happy. Optimus means excellent or best. Cur means why, like curious. Quoque means also. Ambulat means walks. Kibus is food. Euwinis is young man. Wia is street. Clamat, shouts. Widet is sees, like video. Stat is stands. Ridet is laughs. Yanua is door. Res is thing or matter. Clamor is an uproar or shouting. Shouting. All right. So down here, we're going to talk more about like specific parts of speech, just as a general review. Instead of writing them down because it'll make the formatting all wacky and these will be all out of whack, I'm just going to tell you all what each part is. So you are here, you need to tell me the subject, the thing doing the action, direct object, the thing receiving the action, and then the tense of the verb if it were translated into Latin. So like I am throwing the ball, I is your subject, am throwing, that's happening now, that's present tense, and the ball is the direct object because it's receiving the action. So I would be nominative, ball would be accusative, am throwing would be a present tense verb. I kicked the ball, that would be I is your subject, that would be nominative. Kicked is a perfect tense verb because it ends with ed, and the ball is your direct object. The dog was eating the ball. The dog is your subject, was eating, that is how you would translate an imperfect tense verb. Compare it with am throwing. Am throwing is happening now. Was eating was happening in the past. The ball, once again, the direct object. And that would be accusative. In all of these examples, the ball is the direct object. All right. You found the ball. You, subject, that would be nominative. To, found, perfect tense, happened in the past. You, and then the ball, like I said, direct object. You were cleaning the ball. You, subject, were cleaning. Imperfect tense verb. The ball, direct object. They don't want the ball. Don't want, that's a present tense noun. They is your subject. Ball, once again, is direct object. Okay, so in each of these, you got to underline the tense indicators to tell you whether it is perfect or imperfect. So I'm going to go and underline those. In this first one, we have conspexit. And just as a reminder, let's go find stage 7 cheat sheet. There you go. This cheat sheet will help you. You'll notice here in the imperfect, you're only telling on this page between perfect and imperfect, so you don't have to worry about the present tense. Imperfect, the common denominator is this BA. So if you see a BA in there, it's imperfect. It's translated as was or were blanking, and BA is your tense indicator, regardless of the letter that comes after it. For the perfect tense, your tense indicator is usually V, but it could also be a double or single S. Intellexit has an X. X is another tense indicator. That U appearing is a tense indicator, and an initial vowel change like facet or fecit. Superman has X-ray vision is the thing that will help you remember that. All right. So pretty simple here. So if it doesn't have BA, it's perfect. The tense indicator in conspexit for the perfect tense is X. In vitaverunt, the V is your tense indicator. So these two are perfect because the X and the V. Here you got your BA. That is imperfect. V, perfect for asked. Rogabat, BA, imperfect. Fecerunt has that E there, that's imperfect. Faciebat, BA, tells you it's imperfect. Ambulawit has the V, that's perfect. Prokedabat, the BA there is what you underline. That makes it imperfect, was proceeding. Processit is the perfect version of that. Processit, proceeded, as opposed to prokedabat, was proceeding. Terabat was terrifying. Teruerunt, terrified. Howsit, that S there makes it drained. hauriebat, was draining. Conspiciebat, ba, makes it imperfect, was catching sight of. The tense indicator for the imperfect tense, as we just said, is most often a ba in the middle of the verb. The only exception is the imperfect form of est, which is erat or errant. Those are imperfect even though they don't have a ba. They have, and they're translated as he was, they were, so on and so forth. Tense indicator for the perfect tense, as we've said already, is usually v, except when it is s, double s, an x, or a u, or, and I'll just get rid of this, or an initial vowel change, like fecit. Okay, present tense does not have a tense indicator, so there's not a letter to look out for the present tense. Typically, you're just looking for the absence of one of these. And once again, the only way to know the perfect tense form of a verb is by looking at it in the vocab list. You're given the present tense first, then the perfect tense. BA will always tell you it's imperfect unless it's erat. All right. So it says select the verb that properly completes the sentence. You're doing this based off the subject, or based off the subject as well as the tense. So here it says were dining. Were dining would be imperfect. So we're going to choose the one with the ba, canabant. Umbra perviam ad amphitheatrum walked. So walked. That happened in the past. It's not was or were walking, so we know it's perfect. Ambulavit, we know that's perfect because it has the V. Centurio cum multis poculis, advanced. So we got procedit, procedibat, processit. You see that double S there? Makes it perfect tense. We're saying advanced, so here's that. Servi poculum in culina, catch sight of. We want to say the slaves catch sight of the cup in the kitchen. So that is happening now. That is present tense. That'll be conspiciunt. All right, to e amphitheatro, run. Okay, so you run out of the amphitheater. That's happening now. That'll be charis. It's the one that ends with an S because you are the one doing the action. Leones molto senes were attacking. The lions were attacking the old men. We want to say were attacking would be petebant. The BA tells us it's imperfect. Hospites were lighty. The guests were happy. Were is your, whoops. This should be errant. Whoops. So that's imperfect, and it's NT because there are multiple guests that were being happy. All right. And then lastly, we have our derivatives, words that are in English that come from the Latin. So the first one would be tacit, coming from the Latin word tacite, meaning to be quiet. And so that would be F for unspoken or silent. Lacrimatory, coming from lacrymat, meaning to cry. And that is having to do with how the body creates tears, because you need tears to cry. Lunacy, coming from the Latin word luna, meaning moon. Strangely enough, we know it to mean some type of madness, because originally being a lunatic or lunacy had to do with madness that manifested itself during a full moon from way back in the day when they thought that's what happened. Interrogation has rogat in the middle, meaning to ask. Intense questioning is interrogation. Mortal, coming from mors or mortuus, meaning meaning dead. So if something is mortal, it has to do with life and death, or it is able to die if it is mortal. If it's immortal, not able to die. Narratology. So we see narrat, meaning tell, narrator. Narratology is the study of storytelling. Omnipresent, we see the word omni at the beginning, meaning everywhere. Or meaning every or all. So if something is omnipresent, it is something you see everywhere you go. Lastly, we have umbrage. By process of elimination, we know the answer, but also by the root word umbra, meaning shadow. The umbrage is the shadow cast by a tree. And that is the Stage 7 study guide. I would also suggest going over to It's Learning and looking in the planner for Wednesday, Thursday. In here, you will find the Stage 7 practice quizzes, which you can take as many times as you need. You're trying to get an 80 on all three for a half summative grade. Here I have the study guide as well, which you probably already have. The practice quizzes, not to be confused with the quizzes, is just some more practice questions. I also have the Stage 7 Quizlet down here for you to review the vocabulary. If you have any questions, let me know on It's Learning. I'll do my best to get back to y'all tonight, though I know I'm posting this late. But best of luck. We will spend some time reviewing before the test, probably about 20 minutes or so before we take the test on Friday and Monday. So if you have questions, maybe you can take care of them then. Get your work done. Y'all have a lovely night. Be safe. Walete.